Welcome to Morning Glory Farmstead. My name is Lolly, and this channel is all about gardening, animals, and nature. Y'all, there are 4 things that I love about this right here. Number 1, I love Pops. Gotta say that first. I love that man. Number 2, I love the fact that we have more sunlight going on these days. We can get a lot more done. He's out here after dinner mowing. Number 3, I love this time of the day when you start seeing that sun go down behind those trees. It is so pretty. And number 4, he's mowing for me, so I don't have to do it. Y'all, he saves me so much time doing this. Now, I know I have a hard time walking, and that is in a sitting position, but remember, I can't even sit like that. I'll do it if I have to because that's survival, but I have to put my legs up. I don't sit in a regular chair like that. Now, I came back here to come check on these dogs. All the dogs were out for a long time. Everybody else went back inside, but Farmer and George decided to stay outside. I came to see if they needed water, and Pops had already gotten them some, so that was really sweet. Y'all, looking out and seeing fresh cut grass just makes me feel so good. It is so nice that I get to enjoy that beautiful view in this yard without having to stress my body out and cut that grass myself. Y'all, Pigeon comes to this window at least 5 to 10 times a day now. I'm just gonna give her a few blueberries if she jumps up here. So let's see what she does. She heard me push up that screen. Well, hey. Hey, Pigeon. Hey. You want something? You want something? Huh? This is all I'm going to give her for now because she comes back to the window so many times. So y'all don't feel bad for her. She eats good. These were actually some fresh blueberries that had been frozen, so they look a little bit weird, but I'm not feeding her old blueberries. All right, that's it. Good girl. This is the blueberry bush, and I am so excited. Look how these are coming along. And y'all, if you've watched my other video, you know it's going to be me duking it out with the mockingbird. The race will be on. I'll have to be out here every day checking it and eating them as soon as they're ready. Last year, the mockingbird was really guarding this bush, and whenever I'd come over to get some, he would swoop down and just gently tug at my hair a little bit. It freaked me out the first time because I was like, who is behind me? And I saw him fly up to the tree, but I told him if he wants to keep eating all the seed I put out every day, he's going to have to share a few blueberries with me. I'm calling this my cinder garden, y'all. This is the cinder block where that tomato plant is growing. There's one inside it and one right to the right of it. So it kind of looks like one big plant there. And then I've got one that's about 4 feet away from that. And both of these are outside of the chicken area. So this is a lot smaller. Remember, I'm not watering them. I'm not doing anything to them. They're not getting near as much sun. Now here's my fig bushes. They're finally getting some green leaves on them. They're taking a little while. These are my 2 smaller ones. And then here we've got the biggest one. And y'all, these put out a ton of figs. And just like with the blueberries, I'm going to be racing all the other birds and animals that like to eat these too. Anything that falls on the ground is fair game for all the animals that can climb over the fence at night. Guys, I'm really good at watering my GreenStalks and even spinning them, but I have found that when I'm actually pruning them and I'm looking for leaf miners and all those pests and I keep turning them, I actually forget where I started. I've been spinning them so much that I forgot which green leaf I started with. Things start to blend, you guys. I'll be honest with you. Unless you've got fruits or vegetables or flowers or something to keep tabs, when everything is just green, it's kind of hard to tell where you left off. And I want to make sure that I'm turning them properly so that all of the greens and all of the veggies have a fair chance of survival by getting enough sun. So my remedy for this was to figure out a way to mark my GreenStalks so that I know where I've started and where I'm supposed to end up. There's a lot of places that sell garden stickers, you guys, but they get kind of pricey. And so I just went on Amazon and I bought some stickers. There was 100 in the pack. They're supposed to be waterproof. It was a fairly decent price, and they're just flowers and butterflies. And so what I did was I alternated flowers and butterflies on the top tiers of each of the GreenStalks, and I put one on each pocket. That way I can have a much better idea of where I've started so that I know where I need to end up. So before I start pruning my plants and looking at all the pests, I'll make sure that I identify the sticker that I'm on. Hopefully this will help me do a better job of evening out how many hours each plant gets of sunlight. Okay, so like I said, it came in a pack of 100, and y'all, I felt just like I did when I was probably about 9 or 10. I don't remember exactly the age, but I remember collecting stickers when I was a kid. Man, things were different back then. I didn't have all the electronics and things that kids have today and video games and stuff like that. So I loved to collect stickers of all kinds when I was little. And so this took me back to those days. I took all 100 out and I literally went through every single one to choose the ones that I liked the best. And you know, these are supposed to be waterproof, but we'll see. If some start peeling off, guess what? I've got a bunch more to choose from and I can put one of those on. You know, I also spent a lot of time playing the piano growing up. In fact, there was a few years where my parents actually paid me money to play piano. I got a certain amount for every song I learned, another amount for every song I memorized, things like that. And it was just to give me something good and wholesome to do while still earning a little bit of money. What kind of different things did y'all do growing up? I like to hear, you know, how people did things in different generations and how their childhoods were compared to what we see now. We also spent a ton of time outdoors and we didn't come home until it was dark. Such a different time. Y'all, as I was looking at all these stickers, I thought, oh, I've seen those. Yeah, and I've seen those before, but I am horrible about not knowing the names of flowers. It is ridiculous. I don't know the names of any of these, and I know that they're all popular flowers. So I need to start doing better about that and start making a point to learn the names of different flowers. Hey, I liked this one because it looked like a real sunflower. Look, I was moving the leaves over. Look, it looks like a real sunflower. Anyway, it doesn't take much to amuse me. Y'all, I'm about to show you some awesome cat footage. And honestly, it doesn't matter whether you have cats or not. You don't have to have cats in order to enjoy watching them frolic and play. Cats are super entertaining. And I've said this before, I didn't realize it because I didn't grow up with cats. We grew up exposed to dogs, not cats. I never even heard anybody say they were a cat person or a cat lover. I don't even know if I knew anybody with cats. In fact, I don't think I knew one person all growing up who had a cat. So this was kind of a discovery later in life. And then once I started down the cat road, there was no turning back. I think they're absolutely fascinating and I love them just as much as I love my dogs. It could just be me, but I feel like people shortchange themselves a little bit when they say I'm just a cat lover or I'm just a dog person, you know, that kind of thing. Because if you love creatures, there's so much to love about both of them. All right, you guys, let's get into some of this fun cat footage. This is the extra solar water fountain kit that I bought for the hummingbirds. I think in the space that they're in, one is plenty. So I'm going to use this for the cats. This is great for outdoors. If you're indoors, obviously this isn't going to work because it is solar powered. And there's all kinds of ways that you guys can do this. You can put something over the hole so the water's actually coming out something else. I am just keeping things easy and just putting it in there because the cats are going to love it and they don't know any different. So they're not picky. They just like the fact that there's any kind of bubbling water coming out of there. Now today has been very cloudy off and on, which means that it's going to vacillate between actually bubbling and then just being completely still like it is now. And the more sun that there is, the higher it's going to go. So of course it's going to take a little while for them to all come out and see what's going on and get used to it. It's a little bit different than the electric cat fountains that go indoors because those usually have some kind of small flower or object that it's coming out of. It's not just completely open like this. So it is a little bit different. They'll be wanting to check it out. This is Cedar. And this is Ollie Boo. Ollie Boo kept playing with the actual fountain itself and moving it around, and so I needed to get something to add a little weight to the cord. So I found this big mug that my friend got me. It says Catspresso Yourself. It's got a bunch of crazy looking cats all over it, and I filled it with water just to give it a little bit more weight. And it's so funny because throughout this video, you know, some of the cats are drinking out of the bowl and then drinking out of the tray to see if it's the same thing or if one tastes better than the other. It's hilarious. Once the cats get over the initial, you know, bewilderment of what is this, they actually start drinking out of it. You guys, this is a great way to keep your cats hydrated all year long. And I did make this mostly about the cats, but you guys know I'm calling this the Patio now instead of the Catio because my dogs are always out here too. And there were times that my dogs were drinking out of it, but I didn't have the camera. Did y'all notice the cat shadow there? Little ears. That's Dex. Dex is fascinated, y'all. He would wait there for 20 minutes at a time, waiting for it to start bubbling again because the clouds had covered the sun. That's Fuzzy and baby girl. This is Ginks. And here's Pickle. That black cat is Buttons. This is Sunny. I have 5 water bowls in the house that are pretty big that I refill several times a day, so I promise you my cats are not dehydrated. There's something about the fact that this is outside and the bubbling fountain factor. He went from standing to sitting to lying down. This is Hampton, but I'm bad about calling him Hampty. He has 6 teeth left out of a whole mouthful. When I got him, he had the worst infection in his mouth, but he had already lost all of them except for 7, and we had to pull 1 more, so he didn't have very many left. You know, the way that fountain goes in and out like that based on the clouds and the sun offers a lot of mental stimulation to the cats as well. This is Jingles. He's the one I told you was dumped at Bojangles, and there were some things that were wrong with his eyelids, and he had to have 2 eye surgeries because his eyelashes were growing straight into his eyeballs. So he had 1 surgery, but it didn't quite work long term, and we knew he might have to have another one, and he did. And he's been doing much better since. So his eyes look very different from other cats. This is Mags. Her actual name is Magnolia. I call her Mags, and she is my oldest cat. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you real soon in the next video. And until then, y'all have a great couple of days. Bye-bye.